Let's get right into it. Back in August 2025, a massive digital firestorm just erupted, and it pitted one of the world's biggest gaming platforms against a single YouTuber. Now, this wasn't your typical online drama. This thing became a global incident, and it forced all of us to ask a really critical question: who is actually responsible for keeping us safe in our online worlds?
You want to know the first sign that this was a huge crisis for Roblox? It wasn't a hashtag. It was this number, an 11% drop in their stock price, just like that. This was Wall Street's way of saying that a moderation decision had just spiraled into a very, very serious financial and public relations threat.
And this was the reason why. This hashtag became the rallying cry at the very heart of the whole controversy. It was this explosion of outrage from users that went way beyond just the gaming community. So, what happened? How on earth did we get here?
Okay, to really get the scale of this, you have to remember that Roblox isn't just a game. It's more like a digital nation with over 111 million daily users. And in August 2025, that entire nation found itself in a global PR nightmare, all because of one single decision to ban a user.
So here's the spark. The whole conflict kicked off when Roblox permanently banned a creator known as Schlep. And not only that, they sent him a cease and desist letter. His supposed crime? Violating their terms of service because he was running his own sting operations to try and catch child predators on their platform.
And just like that, the stage was set for this classic David versus Goliath story, but for our digital age. You've got a multi-billion-dollar corporation on one side, and on the other, a single user who said he was just doing the job that the platform itself wouldn't.
When you look at their motivations, you see two totally different worlds clashing. Schlep was a 22-year-old who had actually been a victim of grooming on Roblox himself. So for him, this was a moral crusade, and he claimed it led to 6 real-world arrests. But Roblox, they saw a huge legal risk. They argued his methods broke their rules and actually got in the way of official safety work. Their whole response became what you'd call liability containment. It was all about protecting the company, not about winning a public argument.
Now, Schlep really understood the power of a good story. Right after he was banned, he dropped a video with this absolutely masterful title. See, he didn't just state the facts. He framed the entire fight as this giant corporation coming after a survivor for trying to protect other people. It was an incredibly powerful move, and it worked.
And then, Roblox made a huge mistake. In their official statement, they compared the methods of people like Schlep to the methods of actual predators. That line caused immediate and, immense public outrage. They basically handed Schlep a massive win by accidentally proving his whole point for him.
From there, things just exploded. This wasn't some niche gaming story anymore. The whole conflict blew up into the mainstream, pulling in major creators, politicians, and the media, and every single one of them just amplified the pressure on Roblox.
The community backlash was, well, it was swift and it was fierce. You had hashtags like #FreeSchlep trending all over the world. Top creators like Moist Critical and Creekcraft were condemning the company. People even started staging protests inside the game, turning their avatars into walking billboards chanting "Free Schlep." It even spilled into the real world, with protesters gathering at the Utah State Capitol.
It's honestly kind of wild how fast this all spiraled out of control. It starts with the user ban on August 9th. Within days, it's a federal issue, with a U.S. Congressman getting involved. Then, the famous journalist Chris Hansen joins up with Schlep. Then a state files a lawsuit. And by August 20th, less than 2 weeks later, the entire nation of Kuwait had banned Roblox.
So why does all this drama matter? Well, the crucial point here is that this one controversy became a landmark case for the entire tech industry. It forced a conversation that was long overdue about the future of how we govern and police our digital worlds.
And that really gets to the core question of it all. The Roblox-Schlep conflict perfectly highlights the limits of a purely top-down, corporate-led moderation style in these huge online spaces. It shows that when users feel the official systems are failing them, they are absolutely going to try to fill that gap themselves.
And pretty soon, this wasn't just Schlep versus Roblox anymore. You had all these other major players jump into the ring. Schlep was looking for accountability. Roblox is just trying to contain the legal damage. A congressman was pushing for policy change, a state attorney general was seeking legal justice, and Chris Hansen was pursuing a journalistic investigation. All of these powerful forces just converged on this one platform, all at the same time.
So the really big, long-term fallout here is probably going to be regulation. You see, lawmakers now have this very powerful, very public, emotionally charged example of what they see as platform failure.
And that gives huge momentum to new laws like the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, which basically aims to force these platforms to take on a greater legal duty of care to protect kids.
So, what's the lesson here? What's the path forward? Well, for platforms, it's got to be about finding ways to actually work with trusted community watchdogs, not just fight them. For activists, it's about focusing on changing the whole system through lawful, evidence-based work. And for policymakers, it's about creating clear laws that actually define what a platform's responsibility is to its users.
And that leaves us right back where we started, with that huge, unresolved question. In these massive online worlds, who is truly responsible for safety? Is it the corporation that builds the world? Is it the users who live in it? Or is it the governments that are supposed to regulate it? The Roblox-Schlep controversy didn't give us an easy answer, but it sure made it impossible for any of us to ignore the question.